What you got here?
I got Ronald Reagan Senior Yearbook and a letter that's signed by Reagan.
Did he sign the yearbook at all?
No, there's no signatures at all in the yearbook.
I hate when people do that.
So how did you sign people's yearbook?
For the guys, I would just sign, you know, have a nice summer, nice to know you. For the girls, I would just leave my number.
Okay.
Came down to the pawn shop today to try and sell my Reagan yearbook and signed letter I got. It's time to sell it so we can buy the car my mom wants. I'd like to get $2,500 for it today. I don't think I'd take any less than $1,500.
So where'd you get this stuff?
The yearbook was my grandpa's. He went to school with Ronald Reagan. Of the one person in the whole year they spelled his name wrong, the one that ends up being the president.
Donald Reagan. His nickname was Dutch. Life is a grand, sweet song. Start the music.
It's really deep.
This is really cool. Ronald Reagan was chosen as president of the student body. I mean, look, here's like a high school play that Reagan was a part of. Here he is on the football team. I mean, you can't deny the guy was definitely an overachiever.
When you think of all the things Ronald Reagan accomplished in his life, being an actor, president of the United States, it's kind of funny to look at him as your typical teenager who played football and starred in the school play. I bet the editor of the yearbook is still kicking himself for getting his name wrong.
The letter, my dad was doing a fundraising auction, and being from Dixon, Ronald Reagan's hometown, they decided to see if he'd come back and try and help him raise some money for it.
Did he come back?
Nope, as the letter says, he was on the campaign trail, so he wasn't able to make it back in time.
I'm sorry I missed the Dixon JC's benefit and hope you will give me another opportunity in the future. Ronald Reagan. P.S. I remember your parents very well, and Bill was a good friend of mine.
They must have known each other pretty well. I know he saved my grandma when he was a lifeguard at the river there. Apparently he was a ladies' man, and they'd go out and act like they were drowning in the river.
Grandma knew how to get a guy's attention.
That's right.
My dad is a huge Ronald Reagan fan, and we've sold a ton of Reagan memorabilia. Both the book and the letter look legit. I just gotta know how to price them. You mind if I call a buddy of mine down here? I'm just not really, it's not that I think you're lying, I just like to have it checked out more. I kinda wanna know what his signature's going for these days.
All right, that'd be great.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. I gotta take my dad's word for it that it's an original signature, but I don't know. I can't wait to hear what the expert says.
All right, got a couple things for you to look at.
Yeah, you were talking about Reagan pieces, huh? The guys usually call me when they have questions with regard to autographs and all different aspects of a document to determine if it's authentic or not. You know, he came from a small town, played all kinds of sports, very bright guy. Then he headed out to the West Coast to become a star. He actually became the president of the Screen Actors Guild also, you know?
Really?
Yeah, that's what got his political life going. Ronald Reagan was a conservative icon. Like most presidents, it's highly forged. The value of it is pretty strong, so you always have to take a look at all the details to make sure it's authentic.
You're gonna have to buzz out the magnifying glass? Can you tell from here?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna check out the details. Forgers can easily print up a letterhead, you know, make it look official. Well, one major thing that we're always going to be looking for is the capital R is always supposed to be larger in the first name than in the last name. I need to see that the D is tilted back a bit because that's a style that he would always do. Very interesting. T-bars are at the top. Okay. If we take all the evidence together in its totality, this is beautiful. This is 100% authentic.
Great. I was glad to hear that it was real. It's pretty cool having something that's signed by Reagan, but it's time to sell it and get some money.
So what do you think it's worth?
It's not while he was president. If he was president, it'd be worth more. But it is on his personal letterhead. You got a little personalization writing down at the bottom. I would say altogether, the value of both the book and the letter, you know, if you framed it up nice, retail $2,500, $3,000.
Really?
Yeah, right about there.
Great.
Right.
Looks like he scored.
All right.
Congratulations. I think it's very fascinating that the guy's grandfather knew Ronald Reagan before he was anybody. Very interesting piece, definitely.
So what do you think, Big Hoss?
Thinking around 1,800.
I'm thinking, I mean, he said 25 to 3 grand, so how about 2,500?
I would offer you that, ma'am, but I'm gonna have to frame it, and this is all gonna have to go together in one piece, and it's gonna have to be in a way that I can present it and sell it to somebody.
2,100. I mean, where else are you gonna get another one? Senior yearbook, signed letter, personalized.
Well, if it was personalized to me, it'd be worth something, but I'll give you $2,000 if it helps you out.
All right.
Deal.
We settled on $2,000. It's a little bit less than I was hoping for, but I think it's a fair price. They're glad to have the money.
Hi guys, how you doing today?
Pretty good. What do we got here?
This is a 1960 NFL Yearbook.
I didn't know the NFL had a high school.
The yearbook has pictures and information about the NFL players back in 1960 that I can remember because they were my heroes when I was back there playing football at 15 years old. I'm hoping to get $50, but I would probably take less because nobody else really cares about the book like I do.
So where did you get this?
I got this at the New York Giant Philadelphia Eagle football game back in 1960 at Yankee Stadium. We actually bought this for a big 50 cents. But when you look through this book, you'll see names like Johnny Unitas.
Oh, yeah, otherwise known as Golden Arms. He was MVP for a lot of years.
Do you remember Jim Brown, or you're too young for that one, I guess?
I mean, I'm a little young, but how could you not know who Jim Brown is?
I read stories that he used to stay awake at night trying to think of how to get away from tacklers. That's how great he was.
He was a damn good running back.
Oh, well, yeah, Vince Lombardi, he was probably the most winningest coach there's ever been.
Well, that's why the Super Bowl trophy is called the Vince Lombardi Trophy, is because of this guy. I love these figures right here. The 1959 championship playoff. Each winning player's share, $4,600.
Tells you something about the times, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So were these guys working full-time jobs after the football season?
It was definitely a different world back then. These guys did not make a lot of money. I mean, in 1960, if you made $100,000 a year playing football, you were a rock star. It wouldn't shock me if that's all Johnny Unitas made back then.
Probably. I don't think he even made that much.
Professional football became more and more popular in the 1950s and 60s because games began to be televised. And today, football is absolutely huge in the United States. And that means big business for anything NFL related.
But more or less the same game, a little different. They used to rush a lot more back then, a lot less throwing. I love the little poses they did.
Those are action shots, I think. 'Cause look, they got them jumping through the air.
Yeah, well, they're action shots, but they're not actual game photos because they're not wearing helmets. Not that the helmets were any good back then. Most of them didn't even have a face protector on them. These were some tough guys. See, no face protector.
This NFL yearbook is a cool slice of sports history. Sports memorabilia is one of our best sellers, and football fans are always looking for items that are a blast from the past. No doubt it would be a quick sell. I can already think of a few customers that would love to buy this.
So how much are you looking to get out of it?
I'm looking for like $50.
Okay. I mean, I don't mean to beat up on you, but it's in a little rough shape.
Well, it came out of the archives of my basement. It's 53 years old. What do we expect?
I'm assuming these were sold in just about every stadium and probably for most of the season. So, I mean, your problem is it's not worth a lot of money. I'd give you like 20 bucks for it. I mean, I literally think I can get like $40 out of it. That's it.
How about 35?
How about 20?
How about 25?
How about 20?
I'll take the 20.
Okay. Write them up, chum.
All right, grab the program and let's go.
All right, thanks. Well, I thought it was a little bit low, but I paid 50 cents for it back in 1960, so that's not a bad return for my money.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How you doing today?
What do we got?
I got a couple of yearbooks. They were actually from the high school that James Dean went to in Indiana.
Oh, that's awesome.
From 1946 through 1949. They belonged to a neighbor of mine, Barbara. We have here freshman year, James Dean.
Where is he?
This guy here with the glasses.
That's James Dean as a freshman.
That nerd? That's him. I'm here hoping to find a good home for these yearbooks that are signed by James Dean. These are really special. His autographs are some of the most desirable of anybody dead or alive. And I'd hope to find somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 for the yearbooks. Barbara went to school with him, said he was a great guy. She was a good friend of his, had a lot of experiences with him.
Pretty cool.
Barbara actually played spin the bottle with him at one party.
Really?
He was very much into sports. He played in the band. They called him Jimmy back then. He wasn't known as James Dean till he started acting.
It's just kind of awesome. The guy basically invented cool. The leather jacket, the motorcycle, that's James Dean. He was rebel without a cause.
Absolutely. And that's what he's remembered as. He died too young, obviously. He was, what, 24 years old?
Yeah.
And this is where he actually autographed this book. It says James Dean Rack. What he did was actually work at a pool hall, and he got the nickname Rack from racking up the pool balls. So this book is very rare.
And so we have basically all four years of high school.
This is the best one right here. It's the money shot.
Oh, right over his head. That's pretty cool. That's a good photo of him. He's kind of matured. He's got a suit and a tie on. This is more of the James Dean I remember.
What are you looking to do with him?
My neighbor would like me to turn him into some cash.
Okay. Any idea what you're looking to get for him, or?
Well, we've seen people say just for an autograph by itself, it should draw $5,000 or more. There's 4 autographs. She was thinking she'd like to see $20,000 for this collection. It's one of a kind.
Okay. This is before he was James Dean. Autographs change.
You think we should call Steve down and take a look at these autographs? I mean, it's James Dean's autograph on a yearbook, dude.
Yeah, give Steve a call.
All right, I'll give him a call and he'll be down shortly.
Very good, thank you. The signatures are authentic. They are in perfect condition, and his name change shouldn't affect the value. I'm real confident there'll be no problem there.
Got a pretty unique one this time.
Autograph yearbooks of James Dean.
Really? Some great stuff. Pretty popular guy, super rare autograph. You know, his career had started really in TV. I think it had gotten to a point in the 50s where he came back to Hollywood and he was a parking lot attendant. And that's kind of where he ended up getting his big break in terms of getting bigger roles. And he became an icon literally overnight.
Well, let's take a look at it and tell me if it's real then.
James Dean's autograph is one that I'm always fascinated by because it's heavily forged and it's super rare. And when he became popular, you know, he was literally filming movies all the time. This isn't someone that had a lot of time on his hands to sign autographs. That's why they're just so rare. The first thing I want to do is obviously kind of look at some comparisons. This is from another yearbook. You know, I've seen a few of these through the years. Taking a look at this here, I see more of a primitive signature here. You know, almost hesitation, okay? And then we go over here. You could see the similarities in the A, but look at this nice loop that comes across here, or he's bringing it this way, actually. Take a look at that.
So what do you think?
There's no doubt about the signatures. They're authentic. Everything matches my examples.
Okay, good. What do you think they're worth?
Based on all that I see, 4 signatures total. There's no question. I put the value right at about $10,000.
It's a bit less than we were hoping. We thought $5 grand per signature. I've seen them ripped out of books and draw that kind of money.
The stuff that has real value on him is more stuff that was signed from 51 through 55.
I see. Okay.
I really thought since he was a kid they wouldn't be worth anything.
You don't see this stuff walk in every day.
Never would have thought it, man.
Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, John.
See you next time.
Yep.
Thanks
Good
for
luck,
coming.
man.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
What can you take? I'm offering 5.
I'm thinking I can get her to accept 8.
I'm not gonna do 8. We can do 6 and call it a day.
Yeah, that's not gonna make her too happy. You didn't move much.
I could have started at $1.
I'm gonna have to call the owner. She'll be a little surprised.
Hi, stranger.
Hi, Barbara, it's Gary. The expert thought that they should be worth as a collection somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000. The gentlemen here at the counter are saying that in order to make money, they'll pay 6. How does that sound to you?
Barbara, you sound like a beautiful woman, and I gotta make money.
How about $67.50? Let's strike a deal.
All right.
$67.50. We'll do that.
We got a deal,
Show me
Barbara.
we'll write you up.
All right.
I got Barbara on the phone, and she's happy with $67.50. I would like to have seen more, but I think it's a very fair deal.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
I got a 1925 high school yearbook showing John Wayne in his senior year.
Hi-ho Silver.
John Wayne wasn't the Lone Ranger.
Oh.
I came down to the pawn shop to sell my 1925 high school yearbook of John Wayne. I like Westerns, but John Wayne never really appealed to me, so I really like some extra cash to go on a vacation. I'm asking $1,500 for the yearbook. I purchased this for only $1, so I'm hoping to make a big profit.
So where'd you get this, man?
I actually came across this at an estate sale. Here's a picture of him in his class photo.
What was his name? It was Morrison?
Marion Morrison was his name.
I thought his name was John Wayne.
A lot of the time they change their names in Hollywood. Marion Morrison just isn't the name of the quintessential cowboy tough guy. I guess it kind of worked out for him. He started working in a Hollywood prop department. I think they needed a guy that kind of looked like John Wayne one day, and they just grabbed him and threw him on set, and next thing you know, he's probably one of the biggest movie stars of all time. What can you say about John Wayne? I mean, the guy's just an icon. When it came to playing roles in Western and war movies, this guy pretty much wrote the book. I think it's funny how they dressed up for picture day in school back then.
If I remember correctly, your mom used to dress you up and do your hair.
My mom never dressed me once for picture day. I just remember you trying to ruin the yearbook for everybody.
I can't help it, I was born this beautiful.
Looks like he probably played something on defense. I know he was football. He went to USC on a scholarship, actually gonna be a lawyer. I know he was class president.
He was big into the arts, dance, speaker, chairman, really involved in his senior year.
Man, this guy's all over the yearbook.
I have no doubt that this is an authentic John Wayne yearbook, but without a signature, the value really drops. So what do you want to do with this, man?
I'm asking $1,500.
And I'm gonna offer you half of that. Pretty recently, I got a Reagan yearbook in here, and it was a hard sell.
How about 9?
I'll go up to 8.
850?
$800, man. I promise you I can live without the yearbook.
Considering that what I paid for it was a heck of a lot less, I'll go ahead and take that offer.
All right, man, cool.
Thanks.
Sean, you want to write him up?
When he made an offer of $750, I was completely shocked. I would have taken it, but I figured I would see how much more I can get. And now I'm just waiting to go on that trip.
Just bought John Wayne's yearbook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was a nerd in high school.
The amazing thing is you guys have the exact same hairstyle.
Some people call me the Duke.
I don't know, those hairstyles are just a little dated.
Well, I remember some dated hairstyles you guys had.
I mean, my hairstyle set trends.
All right, you think this hairstyle and the way they dressed was weird?
I mean, it's a little dated.
Wait, I got something dated. I got pictures of you guys in high school. I'll be right back.
I love pictures of me in high school.
You just keep my yearbook around?
I think Rick's got things a little bit confused. I wrote the book on being cool in high school.
There's chumming like high school.
That's like, yeah, that's right when I got kicked out. Remember when you bicked my head?
And there's you. How's that? Matter of fact, I should get that framed.
Oh, what's that, 6th grade?
Yeah.
I'm right up here. There's no such thing as a bad picture of me.
You were such a cute kid. The whole Brian Bosworth thing going on.
Hey, Rick, don't talk about hairstyles, because you ain't got no hair.
When I was young, I had luscious locks.
I don't know what happened, but now you're a blind, bald Mr. Magoo.
You have to comb your eyebrows if we're talking about hair.
No, I don't, son.
Yeah, he does.
You got any photos of him when he was in high school?
Oh, yeah, I got some.
I'd like to see him.
I would prefer you don't.
Okay. You can prefer all day long.
I think that was a threat, boss.
Hey, Corey, call me in the morning and remind me to bring them in.
Check this out, Corey. Look at your dad giving the fishnets in this photo.
What pictures are these?
Are you kissing towards the camera right there?
I don't know what it was. That was.
Is that Farrah Fawcett hair, though?
That was stylish back in whenever it was taken.
My dad was making fun of Chum and I's high school photos, so we got the old man to bring in some photos of my dad. And boy, oh boy, did he get some really good winners out of the Harrison photo album. I mean, the Farrah hair is really cute, man. I mean...
This isn't cute, this is style.
It looks cute to me.
This was looking good. Look at that hair.
Yeah, look at it now.
Why did you bring those pictures in?
To remind you of your roots, son.
Remind me when I had hair?
I love the denim suit right there, too, buddy. That's...
It really doesn't bother me that the old man let these guys get a hold of these photos. I looked great back in the day. Besides, I don't get mad, I get even. You know what? I know someone else who has some embarrassing pictures, too.
Can't be the old man. They didn't make cameras back then.
I got photos and I got dirt, just so when you're not expecting it, expect it.
Rick, remember one thing. I still got my hair.
So what do you think of these?
What do you mean?
Oh, the old man's so old they actually had to paint his picture in the military.
The old man tried to embarrass me by bringing in some photos of me from back in the day. They all had a good laugh, but now it's my turn to get a little revenge.
Hey, old man, you're pretty stunning as a kid.
I was a nice-looking gentleman.
The old man was cool when he was a kid. That's not so obvious with you.
You really think that's a cool haircut?
People who have hair get that haircut all the time.
Yeah, if you got hair, flaunt it.
So basically what you're saying is I'm the only person with bad hair when I was a teenager.
Yeah?
Out of this group.
You guys suck. You ever seen his baby picture?
No.
Okay, you want to see hair?
You are Rick.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. What is that?
That is the George Washington High School 1961 yearbook, featuring one young James Morrison.
My God, it does look like him.
Looks a little angry.
In my brain, I'm having a real difficult time processing that haircut on Jim Morrison.
Came down to the pawn shop today to sell my Jim Morrison yearbook. My dad was a huge Doors fan, been listening to the Doors since I was a little kid. I'm gonna ask $1,200, but I honestly have absolutely no idea what its value is. I'm gonna sell the book today because I gotta get back to the blackjack table. It's calling my name.
Cool. So this was his senior year?
This was his senior year.
He looks like a troubled youth right there. Everyone's smiling on this page except Morrison.
They said that he was upset because he had to be so dressed up.
Where did you get this?
2011, I was living in Virginia and chatted up a nice old lady. She had 2 yearbooks and let me have one.
So obviously this was not his yearbook.
No way to know. I don't think so, though.
Okay.
I'm not super proud about what I had to do to get that yearbook.
I want to know. A little too much information on that one. This is really, really neat.
In the back, it even shows his name, and he was an honor roll.
Is there anything written in this yearbook?
There is absolutely nothing written in it.
That sucks. So, how much you want for it?
$1,200.
I have never sold one for that kind of money.
Okay.
Maybe if he signed it. But we just have his yearbook with his picture, so I'll give you $200 for it.
$250.
You know what? I'm gonna give you $250 just because of the story you told me.
All right, deal.
Thanks, man.
I'm good with the $250. Wish it could have been a little bit more, but I'm going straight down to the casino and try and turn that into thousands.
Check this out, Jim Morrison's yearbook.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Is he in it?
If it's his yearbook, he's in it.
I hardly ever made it in my yearbook.
Because you hardly ever showed up to school, chum.
I was probably the coolest one around this age. Corey, you weren't too bad, but I just see these guys as giant nerds.
I don't care what you say, boys. I was better looking than all y'all put together.
All I know is I was much cooler than all you guys when I was a teenager.
I've seen old photos of you, Dad. You're not.
Okay, everyone bring in a high school photo tomorrow.
You don't have any, just bring one in for me.
I bet you have one of me laying around, too.
Fine, I'll bring one of both of you guys.
I don't know why you're doing this. I've already won this contest.
It's not a contest, Dad. Just bring in a photo. The Smithsonian might have it. In their Ancient Artifacts Division. Well, I grabbed some pictures out of the photo album. I have me, circa 1982.
Yep, there's the Beeb.
You had a fro.
I had a lot of hair.
I don't know, that kind of looks like a toupee to me.
No, I didn't start going bald till Corey turned into a teenager.
All right, what else you got there?
Speaking of bald almost.
Ooh, look at this fine specimen. That's me, you remember that?
I remember when I shaved your head.
Yeah.
And Corey, circa, what, you're like 16, 15 or 16?
That's gotta be 15.
Yeah, being forced to do slave labor at the pawn shop.
What do you got over there, boss?
I got the best picture of them all.
Wait, you took the picture from over there? Did you forget to bring one in?
It's a great picture, though, isn't it?
I don't think I've ever seen him younger.
He's like 20 years old in that one.
I don't know, you look the same, boss. I think the old man might be the coolest one.
All right, Grandpa, well, I'll give it to you. You're way better looking than my dad, who honestly just looks sick in that photo. At least pick out one where it looks like you combed your hair or something.
I just wanted to reminisce about old photos
guys.
Hello?
What do we have here?
The James Dean autographed yearbook page.
Okay. This right here is a page from the debate club, and no one ever would think of James Dean in the debate club. Sounds kind of nerdy, not the real cool guy you saw in the movies.
Exactly. I'm looking to sell my James Dean autographed yearbook page. This yearbook page actually highlights that he was in the debate team in high school. It's pretty rare because James Dean obviously passed away when he was really young, so there's not a lot of autographs of his out there. My asking price is $7,000. If I can make some money today, I think I'm gonna put that money into some acting classes back in New York.
Super cool. James Dean, he's one of those Hollywood actors that stayed around and stayed cool. Went to school in Indiana. Real popular guy in high school. I mean, I guess he lettered in like 3 sports, did the drama club and all that. Got the acting bug. 51-ish, he went to New York, did some Broadway stuff. He ended up getting a play on Broadway, The Immoralist. He got like critical acclaim. The producer or director for East of Eden heard about him, had him come to Hollywood, got the role, and after that, I mean, it's, you know, Hollywood legend. By the time he was 24, he was a major star, which is a huge achievement. Where did you get this?
I got it from a buddy of mine, just traded some stuff, and I was able to land this really cool piece.
He wasn't even famous for a year when he passed away. That's the crazy thing. I mean, he did 3 movies, East of Eden, Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant. Every kid in this country loved Rebel Without a Cause. Because, I don't know, I was a teenager, I had all those hormones, I was like pissed off at everything too, you know what I mean? And, you know, they could relate to him. All right, so how much you want?
I'm looking to get $7,000 for it.
When it comes to like autographs, it's presentation, okay? I gotta make a frame for it, I gotta do a lot of stuff, I gotta spend like $500 to make it sellable. Because no one wants it like this. Okay, they want it hanging on the wall.
Sure.
On a frame. I'll give you $2 grand.
I don't think I could do $2 grand for it. It's just like too special of a piece for me. Get 25?
Nope. $22.50. How's that?
2,300?
Fine. All right, we got a deal. Go right over there, and I'll get you paid.
Sounds good.
Kind of like me, but with hair.